Hi, Dan from DJ More Lofts, and I've just pulled up in the work car park, or the office car park, because I thought I'd do a quick little impromptu video around what to look out for when picking a loft conversion specialist. Now, there's a few factors to think about with any building work in general, but for me, loft conversions are a specialist task. Now, the reason I say that is because not in a cocky way, this is what we do day in, day out, so we don't have to double check and think about what we're doing. Naturally, anyone makes mistakes, and we've made a few along the way, but we've always learnt from them. And when you are doing it day in, day out, you kind of get an idea of what you can do and what you can't do. And whereas a loft conversion specialist will very much maximize head heights, manipulate the staircases in different ways, whereas a general builder can sometimes get so deep in the plans and struggle a little bit to deviate slightly to accommodate clients' requests and changes along the way. And that's not a nasty thing to say, and I don't mean that in a nasty way to a builder or anything like that, because they probably get to the same result at the end. But typically a specialist can do it a little bit quicker, better quality maybe, in the sense of giving you higher space to utilize, better staircase solutions and stuff like that. But there are some good general builders out there as well. The idea of this video is just to touch on a few things to look out for when selecting a loft conversion specialist or a company to convert your loft conversion. Now, there's a few things that are very key for me. So the headache you have with social media and the internet in general is it's very easy to manipulate and pretend that you're doing certain things of what you are and what you're not doing online and so on and so forth. So like pretending the work's yours when it isn't and bits and bobs like that. You'll find that all our images are watermarked. We put case studies alongside reviews, genuine reviews, and then we'll also do social media posts around the same content as well. So we've got nowhere to hide, whereas it's quite difficult to manipulate reviews, case studies, and social media posts and stuff like that. Whereas you'll find that some people just post one image and then try and get work off that, whereas we've got like the full package. We're really review heavy, so that's a big thing for me, is when you're looking for someone, look for that's got someone that's got general reviews. Naturally, you might come across companies that have got bad reviews, but look at the reviews, because naturally we've got all good reviews, but we've got a couple of bad reviews on there. And the reason we've got the bad reviews is unconnected to loft conversion works, i.e. we've had one that's a dispute from a neighbour just because they weren't happy that the client got planning permission, for example. And another one where as a client, not even a client, a prospective client phoned at 6 o'clock on a Saturday evening when I was eating dinner with the kids and was expecting me to book them in there and then, and I said no. So obviously general companies do have positive and bad reviews, so don't just think that everyone has to have 5-star reviews. There is people out there that have got slightly lower, but there'd normally be a reason. Look at the replies, look at them. If they're genuine, you never know, it might just be a false or malicious review as well. Another big thing to consider is the actual overall package. Now, we work hand in hand with a local design company and, more importantly, a decent structural engineer. That is so critical on some of these builds, because what you don't want to be doing is ending up with a general build or even a loft specialist that hasn't got a good relationship with the design team, because this is a very crucial part. So if you can imagine, the design stages starts early doors. So before you're even building, you need to get the right permissions in place, the right structural calcs to manipulate it so you can get the right head heights, usable space, most cost-effective solution as well. So there's multiple things. So you want to make sure that you're working around a good team that can generate a perfect example of a loft conversion, and we have that, thankfully. But obviously there's other people out there that will have that as well, so just look for that as well. Another thing is, obviously, like we touched on a minute ago, people pretending that it's their work and so on and so forth. So it's quite easy to nick photos off Google and pretend that's your work and stuff like that. So just do a little bit of research, look around, see what the feel is. If it's a company that's sprung up overnight, have your back foot up, like just do a little bit more research around them. I mean, we'd even do silly little things like on most of our photos that are really high-end nice photos, we'll put our teddy bear Lofty in it to watermark it as well, so no one can nick that photo. So it's just a way of us showing that it is genuine, it is our photo. We've had it in the past where some people have nicked our photo and pretended that it's their work, and then someone's reached out to us to say, do you know this company's using your work? So it does happen, so just watch out for that. Big thing for me is recommendations. Like, you're only as good as your last loft, and if you're doing recommendations or you're getting recommendations from local people, it's very important and it's great, because that shows that what you're doing is great, and your morals and everything work. Not only are you delivering a good company, but you've handled the project. Now, We do a lot of repeat work. So we'll do one loft down one street, for example, and then we'll keep doing multiple ones down there off the back of recommendations, which is invaluable for us as a business. But it also helps the client know what they're going to get out of it, because they can see that you're a genuine company. You're there every day. You're turning up in sign written vehicles. You've got uniform on, like we're reliable and trustable and stuff like that. So that's a big thing. But it's a little bit more dated nowadays. But when we started a few years ago, or say a few years ago, a long time ago, it was a big thing for us. Was a lot of our clients wanted to speak to other clients to see if the work went well, the progress and stuff like that, and just overall if they were happy. Seems to be now we've got such a portfolio of catalogue of content and social media and stuff like that, and we've got video testimonies and bits and bobs like that. A lot of people are happy to take our word for it, which is great for us. But all I would say is just still do your research. Like, there's no harm in reaching out to the builder that you're going to use or the specialist. Ask them if they've got someone that they could speak to. Even possibly go round and see a local job so you can see the insides of it. Because you don't know what a loft conversion might not look like in real life as well. So not only will it benefit you knowing what you want and what you're going to get, but also you can speak to that client. But all I would say is don't waste their time. If you're umming and ahhing about a loft conversion and stuff like that, it's a big commitment for a company to open up their doors to let strangers in other people's lives and disrupt other clients and stuff like that. So if you have to be serious that you want that person to work and to utilize them. So just don't be phoning up random people and asking to look at their lofts, if that makes sense. But yeah, genuine people that want to see lofts. What else have we not touched on? I mean, it's just do your research around them. Like I say, a loft conversion specialist will do things slightly different to a builder. They'll maximise what we do in the sense of like stairs, manipulating bits to accommodate it. Even simple things like working around with the rules with fire doors and protective routes, whereas a lot of builders will do, I wouldn't say dinosaur way, but there's old school ways of doing it, where there's new rules that we can utilise and get around, whether it be Envirograph paints, an L2 do fire systems, so smoke alarms throughout the property and keeping solid doors. So there's different ways around it, whereas some people go, no, that's the only way we've ever done it, is doing it this way, and then that might result in a bit more work for you, or even cost, for example. So when it comes to lofts, it is specialist, but I am biased because that is all I've ever done, and we are considered a loft specialist because that is all we stick to. But all I would say is do your research, have a little look round, have a look at our website by all means to get some feedback and stuff like that. But if we're not in your area, unfortunately, we're unable to help. But there is some good companies based around all over the UK. So yeah, you just got to look out for some of them that are good at social marketing, social media and stuff like that. And naturally, no one's got nothing to hide if they're a good company and they're showing everything on the side. And the only other thing I would say is people do get it wrong. So we're not perfect. We do make mistakes. We have problems along the way. But for me, what you want is an approachable, a realistic and an honest person. I'm very much, if I make a mistake or the company makes a mistake, hold my hands up. We own it. We look after that client. We make sure everything is right and we make it as best as we can, if that makes sense. I'm not the type of person to run away from a mistake and hide away. And then naturally, I think that's where you get a lot of problems, where people will hide, bury their head in the sand because the builders messed this up, and it's kind of just rolls off from there. Whereas we will own a mistake. Naturally, it is building. There is going to be things that come up. There's going to be headaches. There's going to be problems. But with a loft specialist, 90% of the stuff that they're doing day in, day out, they're going to see it. So it's going to be very rare they come up against something they've not seen before and learnt from. So the only thing I would say is, yeah, just obviously you want to be working with genuine, respectable people that equally want to work with you and give you the dream product that you want to see at the end. But more importantly, they're approachable. You can have a really good conversation with them, and you're not going to feel on eggshells working around them and having them in your house, because trust is a massive element of any building work. So you want to be around people that you're happy to work around, nice and comfortable, that the wife, the kids, everyone's at home, and so on and so forth. So hopefully there's some key nuggets of information in there that are of use to you. Hopefully Lewis might have added a little bit more content in here to spruce it up, so I'm not just sat in a car looking silly. Hopefully he might put a little few images in there and bits and bobs. But yeah, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Hopefully there's some information in there. We'll see you again soon. Enjoy.